Hey Nailiaddicts, welcome back to my channel. Welcome if you're new. We are doing a Saturday reverse stamping. This is with Maniology's Art Monet plate. This features 12 of Claude Monet's famous paintings when he was alive. Reverse stamping has become one of my favorite things to do when it comes to stamping. I've seen some pictures that just look like edges, just look like lines on a plate. And once you apply your reverse stamping technique to it, those pictures come to life. I looked at some of Monet's art paintings before I started doing this stamping plate just to get an idea of what colors he used and if he used like watercolors or oil paintings, what kind of canvas it was on, and to kind of get an idea of what I would want my interpretation of it to look like. Some of these are using the same kind of colors he used on his original painting, and some of them I decided to use the colors that I like, that I thought would be really pretty and unique. So this first reverse image is Monet's wife, Madame Monet, and their son under a parasol, which I thought was so pretty when it finished. I like this painting, and I thought the images, even though they were kind of small, they still were wide enough or etched enough to where you could see the details once you applied the reverse image painting on them. When doing your reverse stamping, I noticed that me using a dotting tool instead of a brush was actually more effective. I found that the brush, if it's dry, it will pick up your images off the stamper. Not saying that the dotting tool won't, but with the dotting tool, you can hold a lot more paint on the tip of it than you can with the brush. With the brush, I noticed I had to keep dipping my paintbrush back and forth several times in order to finish filling out the image. But with the dotting tool, for some reason, once I picked up a good enough dot of paint on it, I was able to get a good amount of the image covered with that one dot of paint that I put on the edge, on the end of the dotting tool. Like I said earlier, I did do a little research on Claude Monet before I started this stamping plate on which ones I was going to use, because I wanted to see what paintings Maniology had chose to put. Like I said, they put 12 of them on here. He painted many more. Monet was a French artist. He was a part of the Impressionist movement, and he did a lot of landscape paintings and a lot of paintings of just everyday scenes that he saw while he was in France. So 12 of the pictures that they put on the stamping plate, they are some of his most famous works. I only chose 5, but I made it a point to try to figure out which 12 they chose. I gotta say, it was a little difficult because the way the images are sketched on the stamping plate, you don't get the entire scene that he painted on his original canvas. You may get part of the scene or just the main area that they focused on. Like, for instance, this one that I'm doing right now, it's just the picture of his wife and his son, but there's a lot of other images in the background of this picture. There's a lot of other images on the outside of this, just those two people. And so trying to figure out which paintings were which, I did have kind of a hard time at first trying to figure out which paintings they had decided to go with. I was able to figure out, I think, at least 10 of them out of the 12. The other two, they look too familiar. They look like two different paintings, but I couldn't tell if it was part of one painting or was this the same painting. For instance, this one that I just did with the two flowers on it, It's water lilies, but he has several pictures that he's painted of water lilies. This one that I'm doing now is water lilies under a bridge. But if you just looked at the water part, it has water lilies in it, and you could have mistaken that painting for the one that I just did previously. But they're two separate paintings. Okay, so back to the images. What I did notice about this stamping plate is that it was more fitting for a longer nail. And then I got to thinking, I don't have one of the stampers that shrink and enlarge the image. And I have been wanting to get one for a while. I just haven't pulled the trigger. It's in the shopping cart. I just haven't pulled the trigger to purchase it. And after I did this set, the picture that I'm doing now, the water lilies under a bridge, I noticed that it did not cover the entire nail, and it very well could have if I had to use the stamper that enlarges pictures. I was able to put it on the nail, but just at the top. Luckily, I painted the top portion of the nail light blue, so it looks like the sky. Had I had that stamper, I could have covered that whole nail with this entire image. And for the other images, I could have shrunk them and fitted it down onto a smaller nail. So now that I seen that I probably do, since I do stamping so much, I think I am going to invest in getting one of those stampers. I've seen them on AliExpress for, I want to say, $5. Maniology has one for $12. And now Clear Jelly Stamper also has one for like $12 or $13. I haven't decided if I want to get one from either, and also Temu has one for like $5. And I haven't yet decided which one I'm going to go with. I've heard mixed reviews about the one on AliExpress, and also the shipping is what's kind of stopping me from going with AliExpress. Temu shipping is better. Obviously, Maniology and Clear Jelly Stamper, their shipping is really good too. But I'm more focused on the quality and the functionality of the stamper. Yes, I could get it from Temu or AliExpress for cheaper, but is it quality? Because we are manipulating the image and it has moving parts that can shrink or enlarge the stamper, and I don't want to spend, even if it's just $5, is wasted if you turn it and it breaks. So I'm kind of debating on going with a known company as opposed to going with a company that sells it at a cheaper price. All right, Nailiaddicts, as you can see, it took me four different stampers to get all of these images onto the nail. The reason why I separated them was because I wanted to give the images time to dry. So after I let them sit for a few minutes, I applied some sticky base coat onto my nails, and then I stamped the image onto the nail. Okay, and we are finally finished with this set, and you can see these works of art really come to life. They're so detailed and they were sketched perfect so that you could see the individual paintings as they were on his original canvas. I also like the finish that I chose, which was shiny. To me, this just gave that glossy look, just brought it more to life. On other stuff, I would have chosen matte, but for this particular set, I decided to go with shiny. Nailiaddicts, thank you so much for sticking with me and watching this more longer video of stamping in reverse. And I hope you enjoyed this. Let me know your thoughts down below in the comments. And let me know if you guys have that shrinking stamper that enlarges and shrinks the image. And let me know your thoughts about it. Would you purchase it again? Did you like it? Did it come in handy when you were doing your stamping? All right, you guys. See you later. Bye.